Welcome to part 9 of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. Enjoy the cutscene.
Transmission from HQ. There's an SOS coming from Dr. Eggman's base. Our last communication with our agent was 26 hours ago. We expect an immediate rescue. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Understood. Initiating the mission now. What is he up to this time?
Alright, so we are once again playing as Shadow the Hedgehog. Of course, now, since we already played as Sonic and any Let's Player and reviewer of this game can tell you, Shadow is pretty much similar to Sonic. Of course, he should be similar to Sonic. Only he has a slightly lower emphasis on speed and a slightly higher emphasis on combat. As you can see right here, he's definitely nowhere near as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, without the use of a dash panel or scripted segments anyway. And I guess the only thing he can't really do is spin dash. However, since he has a more emphasis on combat, then that means he's gonna have a few, well, combat-oriented abilities on his side. For example, his homing attack is a lot more powerful. It can go a much longer range, but in addition to that, if you constantly mash the X button, well, that is if you're playing on the PS3 version, or the A button in the Xbox 360 version, and Shadow can lay multiple hits on enemies, like I'm gonna do here. So as you can see, I'm mashing the X button and I'm dealing more damage to enemies. It's definitely a lot more faster than giving out individual homing attacks, unlike Sonic, but it does get really old fast. And as for ally characters, well, we're now playing as Rouge the Bat. I know, it's kind of already. I know already. However, my problem with Rouge is that she suffers the same problems I have with Knuckles, so she can get stuck on walls real easily. Unlike Knuckles, though, when you glide with, I keep doing that. When you glide with Knuckles, it's very heavy. Thankfully, Rouge's glide doesn't feel as heavy, but it's rather Well, I'm basically saying that she is a little bit she's better than Knuckles, although in terms of her combat, like Knuckles, it's also butchered, because instead of using martial arts on like Adventure 2, instead she used bombs like Tails, because you know, bombs are so not cliche when it comes to weaponry. Yeah. As you can also see here, as a big part of Shadow's gameplay, returning from Shadow the Hedgehog are vehicles. And holy shit, they actually have a purpose this time! In terms of actually controlling them well, you're still on your own there. Because as you saw, my vehicle just spontaneously combusted. This is one of many vehicles that you're going to be controlling through Shadow's story. We are now controlling the bug. Here we pretty much have to control the buggy, right? We can drive it around and shoot missiles as we please. The reason why we need to do this is because we need to destroy the 5 searchlights and we can end the level right there. This is my... And yeah, like I said, the vehicles control really poorly in this game. I don't think they're as stiff or as clunky as Shadow the Hedgehog, but they're definitely a bit more. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But they're definitely a bit more floaty. And this is what annoys me here. And whenever you get to this part of the stage, it's like the character is constantly keep talking. They even give you the prompts. It's like, I get past this area and it keeps telling me, oh, you need to destroy 5 searchlights. And it's like, game, I know, shut up. Oh god. And of course, since Shadow can't bust that one rock, that one rock that's in his way, you have to drive around it. Use missiles. There you go. You know what? Whenever you're doing this level, it's very hard to just stay in one buggy. Thankfully, though, there are buggies plastered around on this part of the level, so you don't have to worry about going back to one hunt. So you don't have to worry about going back to the beginning or something like that and getting in the buggy each time. It does help. It does help. But in sections like this, but an area like this where you get launched off by a ramp, and you're about to land on a platform or something like that, hold down that brake button so you don't tip over. Now, let's just get that last searchlight from a distance, and that piece of debris just broke my aim. There you go. And that's pretty much it with White Acropolis. As a first level, it's pretty meh at best. As it's not terrible, but it's definitely something to not write home about. But what do you expect? This is Shadow the Hedgehog. Of course, this gameplay is gonna be a bit more edgy. Oh, the edge.
Guess that was all right.
Anyway, though, enjoy the cutscene.
Don't you want to know what this is?
My assignment was to rescue you, nothing more.
Fine. With you, it's always business. It seems they don't want us to leave.
Let's get this over with.
So we are now, once again facing off the Egg Cerberus. However, obviously since we're Shadow the Hedgehog, well, and not only that this is the last time we're going to be fighting him, but since we're Shadow the Hedgehog, this is actually going to be a rather more difficult version from the Egg Cerberus back in Dusty Desert. Why is that? Well, unlike Dusty Desert, there are no statues for him to run into this time, so you're going to have to do this you're gonna have to do this the long way, basically. And since it's also gonna be a bit harder to control, and it's really gonna be harder to keep track of. And I think this version of the Egg Cerberus is more fit than the one back in Dusty Desert. It still gets tired. I'm guessing Eggman never really learned from the Egg Cerberus back in Dusty Desert. Because, you should never install a respiratory system inside at your own goddamn mechs. Because that makes it easier for Sonic or Shadow to just take the robot down. I mean, come on. Use your head. Robots should never get tired. But we still have to do the same strategy. Once it gets tired, then you can rail grind onto his tail, so you can grab his horn, and you can make him crash into the wall. But when you make it lose half its health, this is when it's gonna get a bit more difficult. He's still gonna do this strategy though, where he gets onto the top of the stage, and he'll try to ground pound you from there. Thankfully though, the camera does focus on them, and it also focuses on you. This is one of the only times in a boss fight where it does that. I don't understand. Why? Why would that be the only time where it does that? Well, that and another boss fight. Actually, the very last boss of the game where it also does that. At least there it's more understandable. But in terms of this boss music, actually, this might be my favorite. This might be one of my favorite boss themes ever. Here, it's menacing, it's upbeat, and it's very. It's just more enjoyable to listen to. Actually, this is actually the very first game to introduce this particular theme for Dr. Eggman, and you know what? I like it. It certainly doesn't beat EGGMAN and from Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, but you know, I still like it. And by the way, that last bit, yeah, it's very possible to let go of the horn. It was very possible to accidentally lose grip of the horn, and so you have to homing attack back. It might give you some trouble, but with a little bit of practice, it's not too bad. But that is it for part 9, guys, and in part 10, we're gonna be continuing more.
Ah, Soliana, the city of water. It has a constitutional monarchy, you know. The primary industries are tourism and crafting precision machinery. The current sovereign is Princess Elise III.
Why does Eggman's base lead to an odd place like this?
How should I know? I just followed my orders and retrieved the item. Anyway, I have a little favor to ask of you. Could you escort me to the GUN rendezvous point?
Where's the rendezvous point?
It's the ancient castle of Soliana in Kingdom Valley.